Live. Let me see. Periscope, it's been a while for you guys. Ooh. Hey, we made it. Whoop. We are on 2 screens. I'm so excited. Yay. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Kwanda Lamb, the winning single mom, and I have missed y'all. Periscope, I missed you. And Facebook Live, I've been missing you guys as well. Busy summer, lots was going on. Hey. Had some amazing events this year, wore myself out, trying to make sure magic happened for my single mom sisters, and boy, did we have an amazing time. So I've been getting quiet, focusing on how I can serve you better and also serve myself by making sure I refill my cup so that I can pour it out. And I recommend that you do that. That's why I want to talk to you about the organized life. Okay, y'all know I wear glasses and these little bitty screens. Let me pull it up a little bit closer. So tonight, I don't want to keep you long, but I'm starting this series because I'm so tired of seeing us worn out, exhausted. And I don't mean like what I was doing this year, building business, building a brand, helping people out, serving folks, but just how we have so many hats as single moms that sometimes we're like, gosh, where is the me time? Where is my money? And where is a man that I know I deserve? But we're so busy taking care of everybody else and every single little thing. And I know what I'm talking about because I've been there and because I'm talking to ladies every day and they're telling me, how do you do it all? And you know what my secret is? Are you ready? I've learned how to say no. Oh, to even good things, to even good people. Oh, it was hard in the beginning, but I've learned how to say no. So I want to get into it tonight, but let me introduce myself. For those who don't know me, who are popping in on Facebook and popping in on Periscope, I am Kwanda Lamb. I'm a single mom just like you. I call myself the winning single mom because I've learned how to do this doggone thing after 17 years of doing it by myself, how to do it well, and how to go after every dream God has put in my heart. And what you're seeing is those dreams play out. When you see me come on live, when you see me start a business, when you see me host an event, those are the dreams that God whispered to me. And I said, I'm going to get courageous enough to do them. So I started blogging about 4 years ago. I wrote my first book 2 years ago. The anniversary is coming up in December. I wrote a book to teach you how to thrive through single parenting, how to handle it, how to stop feeling like you're falling underneath the load, right? And so that brings me to coaching and hosting events, and I love doing it. And so I said, let me give a little bit more. What else? What's so important that we need in this season? And you know what? It's the fall. And in the fall, we can kind of slow down a little bit. We get ready. Thanks for the hearts and the likes and all that stuff and sharing. Please share it, right? I always want to value your time and give you good content. So if I say something that's amazing, let some other people know about it. Thanks, boo. Hey, Nina. And so the fall comes along and we finally catch our breath after a busy summer of keeping the kids busy and running here and there, right? And so we finally start realizing, maybe I should do this self-care thing more often. Maybe I should rest and relax. Maybe I should go to retreats more often. And then Christmas comes, the holidays. Most of us celebrate that, right? And so we're busy making it perfect for everybody else. We're wearing ourselves out and we're cooking and we're cleaning and we're decorating. And then January comes and we're ready to, this year's going to be better. This year we're going to change our lives. This year we're going to hit all our goals. And we start off great and then we might fall off and sometimes we might keep going. And so that's why I want to talk about how key it is to get organized so that you can do all those things. And the sentence doesn't end in, but I didn't make it, but I almost made it, right? So if children are with dad half the time and he pays child support, is mom a single mother? Yes. And dad's a single dad because y'all aren't together unless you're married, right? Okay, so the topic tonight is organization. Now, I don't want to get into like how so much to organize. I like to talk about, if you know me, if you follow me, I like to talk about the things that nobody else is talking about. I like to talk about the things that are under the surface that keep us from excelling. Hey, I'm glad I ran across this live feed. Hey, I'm so excited. Yes. So I like to talk about the things that are really there that nobody's saying. Of course, I'm going to give you some tips later on about how to really get organized, but I want to talk about what not being organized is costing you. Hey, Susan. What not being organized is costing you 5 things. These are 5 areas that I want to get into tonight, and I'm only going to talk about 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to take some questions from you guys, but the first thing is missed opportunities. You're having missed opportunities. You know how I know this? Because I did it in the early years, and I've watched other single moms do it. Oh my God, I've watched so many of us lose great opportunities. I've even tried to coach some women along the way, and they couldn't do it because they were trying to be, you know what? Perfect. And they were feeding everybody else without feeding themselves. And I'm here to tell you, stop it. Stop it. So you're not being organized, not knowing if you're going or coming, if you're coming or going. Hey, honey, still winning. Yes. Listen, it's costing you a bunch of amazing opportunities. And yes, God will bring some things back around, but some things we got to lose so that we can learn. Another thing that is costing us is slowing us down, and it's affecting us in other areas. So we can't get to that goal. We can't get it completed because we are not organized. I've been there. Have you been there? Let me tell you, I was in grad school with 2 little babies. They were 9 and 7, so they were bigger, kind of getting toward the preteens. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I put a whole bunch of work on my plate, still working full time, still raising kids, right, by myself. And like not being organized was slowing me down. I wasn't getting my work done. And I was like, I got to change my life. I can't keep doing things the way I used to do it on that level when I didn't have grad school. I've got to adjust if I want to win. And so I'm telling you that it'll slow you down. It'll cause you to miss some opportunities. The third thing is it's costing you money. Oh my God. Listen, I almost lost a whole good job. Not being organized, not being able to balance my time, not being able to stop trying to be perfect, and not having a system. And that is what I want to like impress upon you. This organization thing, it's not just having pretty cubbies to put things in. It's not just having cute little planners to write things in. It's not having those digital things. All those are great and they will help us. But that organization is stemming from something mental and physical, right? So let's get into it. Let me give you the other 2, and then I'm going to get into why it's so key. So the 4th thing is you're missing out on love. Listen, I've been there. I had a dude tell me, if you can't be on time, then we don't need to date. Honey, listen, I was working hard to get my little disorganized self together because I was about to miss out on fine boo. Do you hear me? Fine bae. Because he was like, this doesn't make any sense. We have a date. You've known all week. We had a date. And whatever you're doing with your life, I'm at the restaurant waiting on you, and you telling me you come in, and it's like an hour and a half, y'all, because I'm disorganized. Listen, missing out on love. So everybody out there that's a single mom, that's a single dad, whoever's watching, you know at some point you want to get your money right, you want to get your love life right, and you want to get your freaking self-care in. You want to have that me time for you. And so what is really keeping you from getting those things? You're not organized. All right, and then the last thing is affecting your parenting, or lack thereof. Listen, Linda, bae issues loud. Listen, let me tell you, and there's some good dudes out here who really want to help us. But let me tell you, all of these things that I've listed today go back to one thing. If you don't get over that hurt, that stuff that happened to you, if you don't process that, you know what, I'm a single mom now, and you know what, it sucks sometimes, but me and these babies are going to make it. So what do I do now? What do I do now? And I'm not telling you it has to happen right now, but I'm telling you, you've got to work on that process while you are running your life effectively. Because if you don't deal with it, it's messing up all these other areas. So I was talking about the mental and the emotional, right? So I had my moment. I sat in my pity party, hey, and I was crying. I was like, why me? Listen, y'all, I was fabulous in my 20s. I was like, why me, Lord? I don't deserve this. Right? So I'm trying to be perfect mama. I'm over here crying. You know, I'm smiling during the day. I'm rocking it out at work, I think. Thankful that the guy did not fire me because he understood, okay, she's going through some things. And, you know, I rocked my job when I got there. But I got there sometimes, most every day, is 10, 15 minutes late. Now, you know that's not right. And it took me leaving that department to go to another one to realize, oh, This is not the way it's supposed to be done. I'm going to miss out on my money if I don't get organized. And so I'm telling you that I understand where you are, right? And the cavalry isn't coming. We can't expect the next guy to pick up and fix what the other guys, did. We have a choice. We can forgive him. We can work on our healing, and we can say, doggone it. With what I have left, I'm going to live my life. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. So how do you get through these things that are slowing you down, that are blocking you, that are keeping you from having the life that you want, right? You've got to face them. Thank you. Put questions in down there, guys. Thank you for the hearts and all the love and all of that. But you've got to get to a point where you say, I know that I'm disorganized. I know I have 5 irons in the fire. And I want you to say to yourself, which is the most important fire? Which is the most important iron in this fire? And you've got to start from there, and you got to say, okay, so what if I had a system that got the kids ready in the morning? What if I did something to help me get them ready every day during the week? What if I ironed on the weekend? What if I picked a day to wash? Right? So we're not depressed by the pile of clothing, like, oh my God, there's laundry. What if I taught the kids to clean up behind them? What if I taught my little 3 and 4 and 6 and 7 and 8 to do little things on their level to help me out? What if I enlisted my friends? What if you asked for help? What if you sat down and you said, what am I doing with my time? Where's my time going? How come I can't find time to get this done? Are we spending it watching TV shows? Are we spending it vegging out on Facebook? Or how are we spending our time? Or is literally all of our time going to everybody else? And then are we doing stuff for mama and daddy and church and sister and brother? Right? Extra things that what are we doing with our time? And so I want you to start saying, what can I take back from me? What can I take back from me? This is how you're going to start getting organized. Because honey, your man... Listen, I'm pro single mom over here. I want us to rock it. I want us to live our lives. But baby, listen, I'm not here to tell you I want you to be single forever. That's not what we do, because that's not what I'm going to do. It has an expiration date, okay? And so you're missing out on your man, you're missing out on your money, and you're missing out on your me time. And you know whose fault it is? It's not the dude that left you. It's not the dude that passed away. It's not the dude that cheated. It's yours. Ooh, and that hurt. Ooh! It hurt when I came to the realization that I was in charge of my life and that I was in charge of what I did with my time. And I was also in charge of telling people, no, I can't do it anymore. And that's where I want you to start. So again, not being organized is causing you to miss some opportunities, whether that's work, that's money, that's going to do fun things with the girls because you didn't get this done and you didn't plan here and you didn't get this taken care of, right? Is causing you to be slow in some areas that you need to be faster in, right? Which is it's just like a domino effect. It messes everything else up, right? It's costing you money, being late like I was, missing deadlines. Oh my God, right? Whether that's school or work or whatever. You're missing out on love. It's affecting your love life. It's affecting your love life. Because most of the time when we're disorganized out here, guys, we're disorganized in here and in here. And I'm telling you tonight, I want you to deal with it. I want you to deal with it. And if that person never comes back and says, I'm sorry, and you know what? They probably never will. And it's okay. You forgive them. You let it go. All right. Nina says, I set the alarms on my phone according to my kids' schedule, so I'm not feeling like a crazy woman. Awesome. What are some tips you can give single moms to start giving themselves some time back? Self-care. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love it. I love it. I love self-care. And I started doing this years ago and I didn't even know I had a name, right? I was just like, I'm freaking tired of this. This makes no sense. I like massages. I'm going to get massages. And so I started being courageous enough to make new friends. And to ask those friends, hey, if you watch my kids, I'll watch yours. You know, once I vetted them and I trusted them, thank you. Once I vetted them and I trusted them, right? And so how can you give yourself some time back? This is my favorite question. And some of you will be like, hey, Wanda, I can't do it. But when people keep using up your time and you find yourself at the end of the night exhausted, you can't even do the things you thought you were going to do. And you wake up the next morning and you're like, crap, I didn't get it done. You're going to get mad enough to change your life. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at your 24 hours. I want you, and people don't believe me, I want you to look at your 24 hours and I want you to start writing down what you do at different times, right? I want you to start looking at your Monday through Friday, and I want you to say, where am I spending time here? I want you to start keeping track of what you're doing. And then I want you to say, what can I take away? Where am I wasting time? And then you say, okay, this time right here goes to me. Where am I serving, which is great to help people and to help others. But if I didn't do it, could they find somebody else? They might be mad, sure. But could they find somebody else? I used to teach ESL in my church. I did it, I think, maybe 3 or 4 semesters. It was amazing. I loved it. But there came a season where I had to say, I love you guys, but I can't do it anymore. I was doing ESL, and then I was teaching Spanish, because you guys know I'm a Spanish teacher. And most people know that, I think. And I was just like, I can't do it anymore because I have a book to write. And I love you, and I love you guys. But if I don't do it, somebody else will. And you know what? Somebody else did. Somebody else filled in. And so I want you to start looking at your 24 hours and being honest with yourself. Where are you losing time? And then I want you to give that time back to you. I want you to say, Nina. So today, for example, I went to church this morning. I got up. I did a wash and go. Look at this hair. Look at this. Look. I did a wash and go this morning. Woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was ready to go to Sunday school, drop the kid off at work. Me and the other one went to church. We were done by 12:30. Okay. I was able to say, okay, I can do this during this time, which I should have done it yesterday, but I didn't, right? I can do this during this time. I can go meet a girlfriend for brunch while he goes and hangs out with a friend. And then I can do some work that I need to do today. And then I can veg out and watch some TV because I know what I'm doing with my hours. And it is so imperative for you to know where your time is going. And so I was able to say, I got work to do, I got church to do, I got hanging out with friends to do, but there are some hours in there that I can do absolutely nothing because I can. And that is what I mean about having the organized life. You take care of the things you got to take care of, but you're not stressing because you don't know what you're doing with your time. You don't know where your time is going. And part of that, we're spending it wallowing. Part of that, we're spending it wishing. And that's okay, especially if you're a new single mom. But if you've been at this thing, a couple years, a little bit longer than me, I want you to start getting through that healing process. I want you to start confronting it because it's blocking some things in your life. All right, Monica says, one of my biggest challenges is that I plan and organize, and then I'm so exhausted from everything that I fall into bed and don't follow through, or I do things after my kid goes to bed and lose sleep. Oh, okay. So here's the deal. Here's the deal that I learned. And then I'm sleep deprived. Awesome. So what I want you to do is stop beating yourself up about it because you're amazing. And I want you to say, instead of you've noticed this, right? So this is a pattern. You're finding that, okay, some things just aren't getting done. I want you to decrease your load that you're giving yourself for the day. Okay. So could the thing that you were going to do on Monday also be done on Tuesday? Can you split it? Right. And then how can you say, okay, let me get baby in bed, or me and baby are hanging out. Maybe I can do some things here. If I don't want to do things while me and baby are hanging out, what's that 1, 2, 3 focused block of time that you can kick butt? Literally, one of the things that I love doing is blocking my time. And I found this, one of my friends, Tiny Chambers, she talks about this. She loves this book. What is the guy's name? Oh, man. Jay Papasan. And I forget the other person who helped him co-write it. It's called The One Thing. And that is why I keep telling you, you've got to figure out what's the things that need to be done. I pick 4 a day, guys. And then I say to hell, don't tell anybody I said it, to hell with the rest of this list. Okay, I'm going to get it tomorrow. And you have to be okay because your sanity, your peace, your rest is what matters. And you know what? The next day, did the world end? Did the people pass out? They're still alive. Now, if that's for work, you need to make sure you take care of it. You need to pre-plan and get some stuff done. I do, and this is why my house isn't clean. Okay, Monica, time blocking. I did that once and it worked. Then I forgot about it. Okay, so here's the deal. Let me talk to y'all about houses being clean and children. Okay, when I was single, my apartment looked like a magazine because the way I was raised, my mom didn't work, my grandmother worked, and then she retired. So my mom was at home all the time. She was a homemaker. Long story there. And it was always clean. And we helped. And we all had chores. And in the morning by 9 a.m., we were fed. The house was the way it was supposed to be. It was clean on the outside. Y'all, we washed the walls to this house. I grew up in the country. We washed the walls on the outside. The One Thing, Jay Papasan and Gary Keller. Yes. Okay, thank you. Listen, check that book out. Now, one of the things that I wanted when I became a mom is I wanted that same thing. I wanted the clean, the perfect, the magazine looking, y'all, I'm telling you, the photo shoot house. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't have it. Because I didn't have all those other people there doing those different chores. So Monica, give yourself some grace. Give yourself some peace. It was just me and 2 babies. At first it was me and 1 toddler. Then it was me and a toddler and a newborn. Are you kidding me? Mess is time too. I was losing my mind. And then I had to realize I've got to give myself grace. I've got to give myself grace. And what's clean to you, I guarantee you, is amazingly, like, meticulously clean to everybody else, right? But one of the things that I did when my boys got older and I was in grad school and I was still bothered by the fact that my house wasn't the way I wanted it, is from time to time, I will hire a maid. Give yourself grace. Listen, one of the things that we're going to work on is budgeting this fall. I want to talk to y'all about a whole bunch of stuff. I can't wait because I want us to get our lives reset and I want us to get on track because we deserve that, right? And so one of the things that I had to do was learn to take some of my money, my hard-earned money, that I go out and work really hard to earn to take care of my family, to put it on my self-care, on my massages, set it aside every month, on my reflexology, on my nails, which as we can see me doing right now. And I also from time to time would slide some money over there in the maid category. It felt so good. I grew up where we did the work. It felt so good to have somebody come and do it, but y'all know, because we crazy, I was also cleaning while the maid was cleaning. Okay, I was helping the maid out. Okay, and she understood, so I would get the same lady to come every time. You know, some of us are just weird like that. We like it to be done the way we want. But Monica, I want you to give yourself some grace, and I want you to look around for a handy maid, and I want you to look around for deals, and I want you to look on Groupon, and I want you to say, you know what, even if it takes you 3 months to save up for it, or even if it takes you, whatever, to say, this is my gift that I'm going to give me. I want you to outsource that thing that's bothering you, that's on your mind, because that little beautiful baby of yours, you know what? She's not thinking about, oh my gosh, your dish is in the sink. All she's thinking is, I get to spend time with my awesome, amazing mommy who's raising me so well, and we have fun together, and she cooks really well. Right? And so that's the stuff that we get tied up in because we want our present to be the way. If we feel like our childhood was amazing, we want that for our kids. And so what I'm saying is you can't do it all. You've got to learn to let friends help you, right? You've got to learn to let some things go. And I know it's not easy, right? But for your sanity, for your rest, I want you to do so. So 1 to 2 things, Monica. If you're finding that you're passing out, great. But the next day when you wake up, knock it out. I've done that before. We've all been there, right? I've certainly done that. And so when you wake up the next day, look at your schedule and say, okay, I didn't get that thing done, but can I get it done before the deadline? Can I get it done before it's due? Where can I find some time? Because I know my 24 hours, right? So thank you for that question. That was really, really good. I used to have someone clean, but I was so mad. I was so mad about paying for it and the house not being clean the way I like it. Yeah, that's why I was helping my maid as well, right? But that's one of the things that we deserve. I had some amazing wisdom poured into me with my grandmother that I lived with growing up. And when I became older and started working and got my own place, she said, when you work, you ought to be able to have anything you want. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that so simple? She said, when you work, you ought to be able to have anything you want. And so what I want you to say is if that maid didn't work out and you want a maid, then you go get you another maid because you work. And you ought to be able to have anything you want in time. Good to know it's not just me. No, it's not just you. Okay, so not being organized, we know this, is causing us some issues in many areas of our life. So ladies and gents, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Right? Tonight, your homework is to sit down and say, where in these 5 areas am I missing out? Am I losing? Do I want to date? Have I been talking about finding love and dating again? But is it that I can't find time? Is it that I'm always worried about this or about that? Is it that I haven't been building my network of other single moms and married moms and cousins and family that could watch my kids if they're younger, that I trust to take care of them while I'm away being grown and feeling like a lady? Where is my disorganization costing me money? Where am I missing out at work because I'm not getting things done on time? How do you track? You know what? I think that's why I kind of, and I love Periscope, so I got distracted real quick. I love Periscope, but I think that's why I haven't come on as much is because, the trolls just pop in, right? We don't have time for y'all. Bye-bye. But anyway, one of the things I want you to do is to say tonight, and please do it tonight while this is fresh on your mind, is to say, what is not being organized costing me? Not I want to have the perfectly clean house. Because that stuff, listen, most guys I've dated, like literally, they have not had the cleanest houses. And I'm like, why don't you have a clean house? Because they don't care, right? They're going out, they get fine, looking good for us, coming out smelling good, looking good. And they just think when I get married, my wife is going to take care of it, right? My girlfriend's going to take care of it. And some of them, of course, have been clean. But there was this one guy, my God, I was like, I'm going to break up with you if you don't get a maid, if you don't clean up, okay? And so, but they don't stress themselves out about this stuff. We do that because we have been raised to care about those things. And I'm not saying don't care. I'm saying don't let it interfere with you living your life. So because we're like, oh, I need to cook, oh, the house, oh, laundry, then that messes us up from doing the things that are important. So tonight, sit down and say, what are the important things? And what are the things that are stopping me from doing the important things? And then I want you to start saying, okay, where can I cut it out? Where can I place it? So one of the things that I do is I have smelly teen boys. Listen, my house is not that magazine shoot that I would like it to be. I had to let it go, okay? But I don't let it go forever. On the weekends, that's when we clean up. Those rascals know that on the weekends, they better get it together. And so the beginning part of the week, get it toward the middle, it's looking about right. Then it starts getting a hot mess, and we clean it up on the weekends. Because that's the way life is. Life is busy. I could take my hours. And I could scrub, and I could clean, and I could make it pretty. And I do, right? Every time I go in my kitchen, guys, I have to wash my counters off. I have to wipe down everything. I'm talking about fridge, stove, microwave, because I got teen boys that don't care no matter how hard I've tried to teach them about the art of cleanliness. They don't care. All they care about is the food. That youngest one is 15 now, and when I find jelly on the counter, I know who put it there, because that boy is only concerned about getting him something to eat, and it's just like... It's like, he's like, oh, things are falling. I hear things falling. Oh, why are things falling? I'm not going to look. I'm just going to keep walking. I'm just going to go and eat and have a good time. So I just, I could fuss about it. I could act a fool about it. I could clean it up. That's one choice. Or I could call him in and have him clean it up. Which one you think I choose? I call him over and I say, Cameron, did you waste jelly? Oh. And I was like, oh, can you get that for me? Listen, we have to learn to fight the right battles. And it's hard in the beginning. And if you are like I was 20 years ago and I had to have a spotless because that's the way I was raised, I totally understand. You got to go through your process. And maybe yours will be better than mine. But I had to learn to let it go. And so I set aside the weekend for cleanup time. Saturday morning, those boogers know we're not running to some practices or something. You're going to wash. You're going to clean up. I want to see that bathroom. One's job is to sweep. The other one's job is to mop. They both have to take the trash out. They have chores. And if you have little bitty ones, don't wait too late. My son used to work me to death. I make him come back and clean up. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you don't have to raise your voice or anything. You just say, I wonder when you have a house, would you like people to waste jelly and peanut butter? Y'all, let me tell you, I would be like, you just had to be playing in here because this isn't even humanly possible. So you have to give yourself grace and you have to say, where am I going to start? And you can't do it all in one day. Rome wasn't built in a day. Oprah wasn't built in a day. I love that there's a t-shirt that says that. But you have to say, I'm going to do something about it. And some of us start and we fall off, and we start and we fall off. That's okay. It's okay to be human. But get back up. Get back up. Get back up. So I hope you learned tonight the 5 areas that are costing us our sanity, right? And that are making us lose out because we're disorganized. And that's okay, because we're going to work next week. I'm going to give you some tools that are going to help you get organized. So one of the things that I use real quick is I use planners. I use journals. I got this one last week from Kia at Blogalicious when I went to Miami. And where's the one that my student gave me? Oh, one of my students' moms, she made this one, and I'm so super excited because I love it. It has inspiration inside of it, and this is why I tell you got to plan your 24. I'm just going to show you February. So this is typical, typical. We all know these kind, right? But what I love is that she goes in depth, and she gives you a place to write your gratitude. Right? That helps us when we're fussing and complaining to God about why we're single parents, right? And why these kids won't do what they're supposed to do, right? And then she also gives us a breakdown. And this is what I'm talking about how do you see your 24. So I have this one, and listen. I'm a journal and planner addict, but I have different things in each one, right? I got my regular life, I got one of my businesses, the other business, and those things keep me straight. And then I have things digitally. And so we're going to talk about those next week to help us get organized. And what I really want to do with you guys is help you see how, okay, you do have time. You do have hours to give back to yourself. All you have to do is own it. All you have to do is say no. And it's going to take you saying no to somebody, and it's going to take you saying no to something for you to get your life where you want it to be so that you can be happy, right? So one of the things when our babies are small is we want to spend more time with our kids, right? Listen, let me tell you, them people that I got in here that's 15 and 17, I love them. I'd be like, y'all got somewhere to go today? Y'all got somewhere to go today, right? And so we start cutting the apron strings just a little bit. You know, I love my babies, right? Want to make sure they're good. But, now they can do more things without me. And so when your kids are smaller, you kind of have to have them on your hip. I want you to start training them to do things. I want you to start training them. To help you out at home, to help themselves out. I used to, I didn't think these boys, and y'all ask some questions. Stuff. Hey, Tretta. Hey, boo. Ask some questions because I'm almost done. I don't want to hold you guys too much because my thing on Sunday is always prepare to win for the week. And to prepare to win, you've got to make sure your clothes are ready for in the morning. Kids' lunches are together. You can do all that stuff tonight. Your lunch is together. All that stuff can be done tonight. And you can really sit down and look at your week ahead and say, dang it, I'm busy these days. Got this with the kids, this with that. But on this day, I can sneak away and go to the salon. I can sneak away and go have lunch by myself. This is why it's so important to really see your time, to really see your hours. So what was I saying about this planner? Dang it. Lost my thought. Somebody help me remember what I was saying. Because I really, really, really want you to stop saying, I can't do it, right? I know it's hard. I know it's not easy. But, I was talking about training the babies. Hey, Tanisha. When my boys were little, we would sing this song when they were cleaning up their room. So they make a big old hot mess. And each time, y'all, I would just be like, but we just cleaned it up. And we sang the song, and you guys know now. And I'd go in their room and be like, how, when did you have time to do this? And so we sing this little song, clean up, put the toys away. And it would be so cute. They were so cute. And they'd be singing and dancing and putting all little toys in little toy boxes, putting the little VHS tapes back in a little holder, and it would be perfect. And then the next morning, I'd be like, how, when? But everybody went to sleep. How is this a mess? Why? Things under the couch, stuff just stepping on. How? When did you have time? And that's when we have to say, I give up. They want to be messy. They want to explore. They want to have a good time. So let's give them time to do the mess. And then let's give them time to clean up, put the toys away. That's how you get your sanity back. Because they're kids, they're not going to ever be like us. Hey, boo, go to cryotherapy. You need energy to get organized. Trust. Listen, you've been talking about that VHS tapes. Listen, my oldest is 17. Listen, we had all the Disney movies. Do you hear me, honey? We had the VCR. They knew how to work it. There was jelly in the VCR. There were film negatives in the VCR. There was bubble gum in the VCR. I was like, how, Lord? But I had to learn to let go. Because if I still had my idea of cleanliness and perfection, those little people were not trying to hear that. It was going to really drive me mad. And I'm not saying don't have rules in your house. Have rules in your house. Set rules for your kids, but get them involved. And just know they're going to mess up. And make space and time for the mess up. And then make space and time for the cleanup. And so, you don't clean it up. Well, I guess you didn't want to go to your friend's birthday party because your room isn't clean. I'm so sorry to hear that. Right? So that's when we come back and we do the parenting thing. Right? So I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. What's up, Periscope? I missed you guys. I'm glad I came on over there. Anybody got any questions for me? I'll recap real quick one more time the 5 things that I want us to win in that we're currently losing at because we are not organized. So disorganization is costing us many missed opportunities, whether that be at work, whether that be professionally, whether that be in just relationships, because we don't, hey, meet me for lunch. Oh, I don't know. Let me check out. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. What? You got to know your life. You got to know where you are. And sometimes, let me say something to that. I've tried to help, when I said earlier, when I tried to help some women, we've got to be willing to be coached. We got to be willing to be taught. We got to be willing to receive help, especially from people who we admire or who we feel like are doing what we want to be doing. We got to be willing to take that advice. I have a girlfriend and I love her dearly. And my boys are part of a nonprofit that has totally blessed their lives, totally blessed mine. For us single moms, I always encourage you to have great male mentors in your kids' lives. And so my boys are blessed to be a part of a nonprofit that pairs them with 2 male mentors that are family men, that have been background checked, that have been vetted, that have been in their lives for the last 3 years. And before that, I've always used friends and family and husbands of girlfriends that I trusted with my boys to give them wisdom that lined up with what I believe and how I was raising them. And so I'll say this, this one particular girlfriend, she just didn't have her life organized and together. And I was trying to help her see how she could handle school and how she could handle work and how I was even volunteering to help take her kids to the meetings that we would have on the weekend during the summer. And they still couldn't make it through the program. And I felt so bad because I'm like, this is the thing that you need. This is the thing that would change the game for you. This is it. Thank you, boo. Hey, I appreciate that. Absolutely. Can't be ashamed because we're dealing with, like I said, it's the mental and it's the emotional that we're dealing with that helps us be disorganized. And until we deal with those things, we're just going to have this stuff out here. Deal with it. Go on your journey to heal. Go on your journey to forgive. Go on your journey to say, forget it. I'm over it. No more thinking about that stuff. Let me get my life. Okay. So she missed out because she wouldn't listen to me on how to organize her time. Okay. And a year later, she regrets it. But there were some bridges that were burned there because other people could have had that spot. Lots of investments made by people trying to pour into her kids. And so you can imagine on both sides how it affected the kids and how it affected the mentors. I love her dearly. I still am friends with her, still try to support her and help her. But this is what I mean about missed opportunities, right? We're missing opportunities in so many areas because we won't deal with what needs to be dealt with so we can get our lives. And sometimes it's not just the physical representation, right? The second thing, not being organized is slowing you down. Listen, Linda, I was a hot mess. I used to try to take the whole house and the kitchen sink with me when those boys were little, and I would be late for everything. And it was slowing me down. And I didn't get it. People would be like, why are you? And I'm like, I'm not late. I'm not late. Like the party starts when I get here. I'm not late. Listen, like I said, it took Fine Bay to help me get my life together and be like, oh, so like on time means like the time we said. All right. So it's also costing you money. Is it costing you money? Is it costing you that promotion and you don't know it? Are people secretly whispering, pss, pss, she does great work, but she's never on time? Or she does great work and she's disorganized? Listen, shut them up today. Figure out your system and be on it. All right. Also, are you missing out on love? Listen, I was about to miss out on love. And let me tell you, brother was fine, y'all. Let me tell you, we broke up for some other reasons. But let me tell you, he helped me get my whole life. And do you know that from that moment, they helped me in my work, professional life. They helped me with every other dude I've dated ever since. And now, guess what? I'm a stickler for being on time. I hate being late. But it was years before I met this guy. And I was just like, what do you mean? I'm not late. Listen, is being disorganized because I couldn't get the kids right and I couldn't get the house right and I couldn't get me done in time. And now I've been able to see how I can get dressed, I can get ready, I can get all these things done just like that. Listen, honey, Listen, Fine Bay will make you learn how to get organized. And so also, is it affecting your parenting? So I didn't really hit this one much, but sometimes when we're so all over the place, we're not spending time in the right areas. You know, God has given us those babies, whether the other parent is there or not, to nurture them, to raise them, to pour into them. And so if we're spending all this time over here, if we're worn out from all of this, and I've been there, and it's okay if you have, but it's time to say, I got certain hours to put on work, and I got certain hours to put on me, and I got these hours to put on my babies, because this is my charge, right? This is my job to make sure they get what they need. So I want to make sure that I blessed you tonight with something. If I did, tap it up, heart it up, give your girl something down there in the comments, let me know. But if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to let you go enjoy your eve. But remember, your homework is to figure out what's costing you. What is it costing you? And then how can you start thinking about what to fix? Remember, 1 to 2 things a day. I put 4 things on my list. I knock those bad boys off. If something happens, if life interrupts, right? Because sometimes life happens. Then I'm like, you know what? You're going to get done the next day or later on in the week. Because I'm going to look to see whenever I have time. If I told somebody I was going to do something for them and I'm like, crap, I don't get to get it done, I'm going to call them up and I'm going to let them know. And you know what? Nobody bites your head off about it, right? And this is what I'm saying. Learn how to say no more and say yes to you. All right? God bless you. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in with me tonight. I'm Kwanda Lamb, the winning single mom. I'm an author, a speaker, a coach. I host events for single moms called Brunch and Love. I can't wait to do a vision board party in January here in the Dallas area. I'm super excited. I'm planning some amazing things for you. And one of the things I'm going to be doing in the month of November is a masterclass called, you guessed it, The Organized Life. We're going to really go into deep detail on how to get our man, our money, and our me time together. So I hope you join me next Sunday right here, same spot, same place. And I'm going to talk about the tools you need to help you get organized. We're going to delve a little bit deeper. And I'm creating some things for you guys because it's been bothering me all year, when I see women that are really missing out. Right? Because we haven't figured it out. But I'm telling you, the Calvary isn't coming. Nobody's going to fall out of the sky and do it for you. You've got to organize your life. You deserve it. Your babies deserve it. Your dreams are calling. And so go do what I asked you to do tonight. God bless you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye, y'all.